Hello everyone, here I am to announce from me, Kohei, that I am back in Japan. Little let you know. What? Oh, that flag? Yeah, I got it in Canada. Yeah, because I'm Canadian now. Actually, I am back. I came back to Japan on 18th at 11 p.m. I left Montreal on Montreal's time, Canada's time, local time, on 17th 4:05 p.m. Yeah, I came back to Japan in Japan's time, 18th at 11 p.m. And now today it's August 20th, actually 21 because it's already turned 0. So it's 1:51 a.m. August 21, 2011 in Japan's time. So I didn't know that you didn't know. I didn't know that you didn't know that I came back to Japan already, because although I was saying things like today's third day, today's fourth day, today's fifth day, and I have only 3 days left to come back to Japan. In the videos I was shooting there, and I even made a video when I arrived at Haneda Airport and when I just got back to my room, my home. I made videos, but I haven't uploaded them yet, so I thought, wait a minute, they don't know that I'm already in Japan yet. So, yeah, reading some comments from you guys. Hi, are you enjoying it in Japan, in Canada? Well, so I thought that I should announce officially that I'm here already. So it's been 2 days that since I came back to Japan from Montreal, Canada. And I'd like to kind of summarize and look back what I've done, talking about things I did on each day, and overall good, the things that I felt good, things that I didn't like, well, things I generally thought that they were different from Japan. Well, so yeah, first of all, I didn't miss Japan so much. I wasn't homesick. But I really liked it being there in Montreal. I went to Ottawa, by the way, to Montreal and Ottawa I was in. So I could see at least 2 different cities, towns. Well, yeah, let's look back at things like that. Yeah, on August 8th, I left Tokyo, Haneda Airport, and I went there, and when I arrived there in Montreal, to the airport, international. Yeah, that was 8th in Canada's time. And on the first day, I arrived there in the morning, but my hotel I had to check in like 3 or 4 p.m. So I had to wander around in the city. So on the first day, it was mostly about wandering around the day. But pretty much the only thing, or the very first thing that I had coming there was everything was different. Well, just different was the word that I was having in my mind. You know, although I've been to several cities, other prefectures in Japan too, and I've been to Hawaii, which many people say is that it's not America, it's Hawaii. Hawaii is Hawaii. Yeah, but it's still Hawaii, or to some degree it's still America. So I've been to other places, including foreign places. But yeah, I've seen some different things from what I'm used to living in Tokyo, or precisely in Hachioji. But yeah, pretty much everything was different. Of course, people were different, buildings were different, cars are different. And there were many squalls. Squalls? Yeah, in general, yeah, the atmosphere of everything. I know this is really vague. Everything. What's everything? I know you're thinking. But yeah, that's pretty much the only feeling that I was having. I didn't really get culture shocked though. But I was more like, oh. And another feeling was, I'm here. Although I didn't really notice that though. Like, I wasn't really feeling that directly to my mind though. What I mean is, I knew, of course, that I came to Montreal, and I knew that, yeah, so that was like, I'm in Montreal, I'm in Canada, I'm physically over 10,000 kilometers away from my home. Well, I'm here, and I made it. The flight was safe, I made it. Yes, like, I'm alive yet. So that's pretty much the only feeling. And yeah, in afternoon I went to, with my friend there, I went to cafe or whatever, restaurant, bar, and then I had first real meal, which was roast beef sandwich, and that was really big, huge for me. It was a full size, I don't know if you call it full size, but full size sandwich, not like half size, but it was full, like this size. It was cut half, but it was big. Wow. The first thought I had when a waiter brought it was, wow, this is huge. Can I make it? Yeah. And with French fries. Not potato. Yeah, I know. French fries. With French fries of this size, like in a bowl or cup. Yeah, that was first. I don't know if it's typical Canadian food, but it was first real food, not like the foods that I had on the plane or small things that I grabbed randomly. Was this first real food? Yeah, and this size of huge has not changed through my life, through my vacation. Pretty much everything I had that I even expected to be small was big. I have to get used to it. Yeah, that was and yeah, I had first beer there. Yeah, I think you saw the picture in a video. Day one in Montreal. Yep. By the way, I think this video might be really long because I'm talking about hopefully everything that I did there. So if you don't want to watch, don't watch. If you want to watch, maybe you'd want to watch this video separately because it's gonna be long. I think it's already about 10 minutes. And on the first day, that was pretty much it. Yeah. Hopefully I can talk about everything, but I can't remember everything, at least at this moment. So I might not talk about something, even things that was nice, fun. But that doesn't mean that I didn't think it was fun or interesting or nice, but yeah, I might not talk about it randomly, so just keeping that in mind. And on the second day, 9th their time, local time. Yeah, it was about in the morning or in the afternoon. Around noon, I went out, wander around in town, around the neighborhood around my hotel, and yeah, I went to Old Port or Old Montreal. Yeah, old place because Montreal or Quebec. Yeah, maybe Quebec. Yeah, anyway, Montreal, Quebec was the first place I heard that French came in. And yeah, so that is literally the first place. That's oldest place. So it was amazing. Literally every building was old. Well, old. Some hundreds. Definitely over 100. Around maybe 200 years old. And I would say every building had taste. Yeah. Banks, even stores, I think even McDonald's there was in an old building. Yeah, and old port. That was nice too. Well, because I was astonished simply, having lived in Tokyo for 20 years, all my life. I was used to seeing new buildings, tall buildings, crowded places, hundreds of thousands of people. And of course I went to port, harbor too, like Yokohama harbor. But the atmosphere, the way the buildings were built, buildings were standing, buildings looked, they were just wonderful. I can't describe it. I have poor vocabulary, so I might just ended up saying interesting looking. Well, but that was definitely, as I think you can imagine, different from things that I was used to see in Tokyo. I was used to seeing in Tokyo. Because yeah. I'm not saying which is good, which I liked. Of course, life in Tokyo is convenient, and convenience is not everything. But yeah, I'm just saying different. Yeah, but that was great. And there were many churches. I could see that from far away at the port harbor. Because there weren't many tall buildings. There were tall buildings, but not as many as in Tokyo. So I could still see buildings, low buildings, and churches. Because on the top of churches, they have like statue-like things, or maybe cross. Yeah, statues or cross, or this sphere, half sphere ceiling, top. Well, that was and yeah. On that day, the second day, I got lost for the first time in Canada, in Montreal. Yeah, that was first time really. I was surprised that I got lost. There was anything that was not something that I expected to happen to me. Because in my life, I hardly have gotten lost. Because every time I managed to make it, even at random. Yeah, in Tokyo at least. I mean, in Japan, in Tokyo. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I got lost until I found something that I knew was really far away from downtown and from the place I was going to. Like, wait, where am I? Yeah, the thing is I couldn't read a map. Yeah, and some other things, like streets name, they were just different from the way that is in Japan. Streets name, yeah, everything. One thing is I couldn't read a map, or maybe the biggest factor is maybe I couldn't use iPhone. I could, but I had to use international roaming service, so which would cost me like $30 a day. Yeah, I couldn't use it, so I didn't want to use it. Yeah, so that was first day that I got lost and realized that I was so used to, or I was so dependent on those technologies having lived in Japan. Because you can search where you are with GPS inside it. Oh yeah, I can see that. I can even see which direction I'm facing. So, but I couldn't do that in Montreal, there in Canada. That was another factor, I think, biggest factor. And yeah, on that day at night, I, with my friend, we went drinking again, which was really fun. That was another experience that I could see the nightlife there, although it was Tuesday. It wasn't really party or drinking time of the week. I think it's Friday, but Friday or Saturday, I don't know. But I could see at least, anyway, some side of nightlife there, or drinking life there. I had fun. That was nice. But one thing I don't know was I tend to drink a lot there, even though I haven't really drunk many in Japan. I don't know, maybe I tend to, or I try to, or I couldn't help, or I wanted to. I don't know, but anyway, I tended to drink more than I would in Japan. Yeah, that was overall day second. Yeah. Let me just check. I think that was pretty much it. I could stay awake just to hear you breathe. Yeah. And on that day, my dinner was, or maybe supper was, McDonald's. First McDonald's in Canada. I had this. Maybe you saw this picture before, but yeah, first McDonald's. Because going to McDonald's in each country is kind of fun, because each country has different atmosphere, different menu, different looking buildings, different clocks. So I wanted to go to some McDonald's there anyway, and yeah, we don't have this menu. Rob something. McRib. In Japan we don't have this, so yeah, it's interesting to see McDonald's. And on the next day, third day, yeah, we went to McGill. Yeah, McGill University, one of the top universities in the world or in Canada. Yeah, McGill University. Well, like I said in the video I shot there and uploaded already, I haven't, even in Tokyo, even in Japan, I hadn't gone to big universities like that myself. So that going to McGill was actually almost the first time for me to go to a university like that. I'm saying maybe something strange grammatically. Anyway, don't care. But yeah, again, the building at McGill University were old too, and big. This whole campus was huge, spread into some sections, even crossing the streets. Well, I didn't really get to see curriculums or students. I saw some students and maybe teachers too, and I get to see the lecture room, class, this huge class with tables and chairs, seats. Yeah, but I don't know about studying there, but buildings-wise, atmosphere-wise, I loved it. Yeah. I don't know if I want to go there. Generally, I want to go there, but I don't know if they have a course that I want to do. Actually, I don't even know what I want to do, so that's the problem. Yeah, but yeah, I want to go there. And it's really close to downtown. And I think, McGill University is one of a few universities in Quebec or in Montreal that do classes in English. So, if I want to go there, if I want to go in Quebec, if I want to go to Quebec, or if I want to go to Montreal, this is probably the only one, or the one of very few choices that I can possibly go. So if I decide to go to Montreal or Quebec province, McGill would likely be my choice. But you know, McGill University, really high level, I think. Of course, depending on what course it is, but it's much higher than any Japanese university, in a way, I think. Because I heard that so-called top university in Japan, which is Tokyo University, or another possibility is Kyoto, Daigaku Kyoto University, Tokyo University or Kyoto University, one of the two, is so-called Japan top university. But I heard Tokyo University was ranked around 17th in the world university ranking. So that's pretty much. I don't know what rank McGill has, but I'm just saying in general. Yeah, McGill I think must be considered higher than any of Japanese university. I don't know. I'm just saying. And after going to McGill University, I went to Mont Royal, I don't know, Mont Royal, yeah, which I thought was a hill, but it's called Mont Royal. Anyway, that was mountain. Anyway, yeah, that was mountain. I just didn't know that it was mountain, but I thought it was a hill, but it was a mountain anyway. I agreed it in the end. So and yeah, it was kind of the symbol of Montreal, because the mountain on the top of, maybe not the top, but on the mountain has this huge cross that a man who first came to Montreal built on the mountain. I don't know, I forgot the name of the man. And the scenery from there, from the mountain, was amazing. I could see everything: Olympic Stadium, the bridge, rivers, and buildings. Yeah, I like going up on mountains. Yeah. And on that particular day, there was a storm, thunderstorm, and we could see Italy. Italy. Yeah. Thunderstorm like this. This thunderstorm was attacking only certain place of the town, so we could see the line of this, I don't know, this clouds and rains. It was fun. It was fun. And another fun memory, or whatever memory, we got stuck in heavy rain because we had to wait at the bus stop for the bus, because it was the only bus, or it was the pretty much only way we could go back downtown, or actually another place I was going to. But yeah, so we had to wait for a bus at the bus stop, which had no roof. Sky. No. Yeah, so we couldn't leave the bus stop, and I wasn't sure if buses in Montreal arrive in time. Yeah, she says so. Yeah, in general, but it ended up. Yeah, we ended up waiting for about 30 minutes. Over 30 minutes. It was ridiculous. It was fun though. Like, we had no way to. We didn't have umbrellas, so we were literally in heavy rain, pouring rain. At first, it was fine because we thought the bus would come soon, but 5 minutes passing, 10 minutes passing, 15 minutes passing, we were like, oh my god. Yeah, we had no means to know what time bus would come, or any way to hide us, keep us away from rain. Keep us away from rain. Yeah, anyway. Umbrella, no. Yeah, that was a nice memory. I can't forget it. It was nice. With this, my friend, standing by me. Yeah, this was fun. Yeah. I would say this was a bad memory, yeah. Memory of bad side. But yeah, it was fun. I kind of liked it. Yeah, as you can see, I can laugh about it. That was pretty much it. Well, there are still some things that I did, but I wouldn't like to talk about it to you guys, to random people. And yeah. And I randomly went to some supermarket, local supermarket. And then it was again, everything is different that I felt about it. Huge, I mean, wide ale, because in Japan, ale is pretty, what? Narrow. Yeah. There, people had like a cart of huge size. So with that huge cart, only one people can pass in Japanese supermarket because aisle is really narrow. You can't go. Two people can't go. Yeah. So supermarket, the style of supermarket was different from the style in Japan. So if you have any chance, you can get to see it. But size-wise, different. And I could also see the difference between Canadian supermarket. Also, this was not the Canadian market, but from some supermarkets I went, American supermarkets I went before, it was also different. American supermarket, Canadian supermarket, they are kind of different. Of course, they were not as different as they are from Japanese supermarket. But yeah, anyway. So I went to supermarket which I thought was really different from Japanese supermarket. And okay, it's already 30 minutes, and I have talked about up to fourth day now, and it's fourth day. Yes, fourth day. This was the day I had to leave my first hotel, because I booked this hotel only for 3 nights, and now it's August 12th. 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 11th. Fourth day in Canada is 11th. Well, that day I had to spend time alone until evening, until night, until evening. Yeah. And I don't know why I can't really talk today. I'm not so sleepy. So I had to go wander around in the city toward the next hotel, which was miles away, kilometers away. Ugh. I ended up spending 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, but the thing is that check-in time was maybe 3 p.m. So anyway, I had to kill time. I had to kill 3 hours. But I didn't plan to arrive there at 4:15 or 4:45. Yeah, anyway, so I went to some random park called Parc La Fontaine, which I really liked too. Yeah. I got to see many things on the way going there. That was pretty much it. I had a roast pork hamburger in the park. Yeah. So having arrived at next hotel at 4 p.m. or so, before 5 p.m. Well, I had seen many other things too on the way there. You don't know how long time I spent going there with this huge orange luggage. I totally looked like a tourist. Not like, but I was a tourist, but I totally looked a tourist. Well, I was a tourist anyway. It was hard. It was so tiring. And I, again, got lost on the way to the hotel. And I didn't even notice. until I until I took this long way to the opposite direction. That was funny. It's the second time I got lost in Montreal. But anyway, having arrived there, having arrived at hotel, I, again with friend and other people, went to oratory, a church called Saint Joseph Oratory. Yeah, that was the first church, first big or first real, yeah, first church I went in Montreal, in Canada. That was gorgeous. You know what? Because I'm not a Christian or anything, I hadn't really been to any churches in Japan. Probably I have once or twice, I don't know, but I don't think I had. Anyway, I don't remember going there, so this church, Saint Joseph Oratory, was pretty the first church I had ever been and inside too, not just looking. It was gorgeous, even though I'm not Christian. I got this goose. What do you call it? I forgot. Goose push, goose posh, goose. Yeah, you know this skin when you got excited, when you got feared, cold. Goose something, goose something. We call it chicken skin though, torihada, because it looks like chicken skin. Yeah, it was gorgeous, just gorgeous. Yeah, because I didn't know how inside of a church looks. There were candles, there were several different statues for different purposes, like for love, I don't know, workers, for people dying, for family, yeah, things like that. Like these, each section has different purpose. Yeah. Yeah, this is the outside looking. Yeah, you can hardly see. You get to see it on the videos I'll upload later. Yeah, that was amazing. And also the scenery from there was amazing. We went there at evening around 8 p.m. So it was the time that a daytime changes to nighttime. So I could see daytime scenery, kind of daytime or evening scenery, and night scenery. That was the, I think, best timing. Yeah. And because this oratory stood on the top, on the mountain or on a hill, we could see the whole entire city from there. And this beautiful sky. Wow. This is something we don't have in Tokyo. Because, yeah, if you are in Tokyo, pretty much everything you see is only tall buildings. But from Saint Joseph Oratory, I could even see the horizon. Yeah, it was beautiful. I must go there next time I go to Montreal. I really loved it. Actually, I wish I could have gone there again on my vacation because I stayed at the hotel near there at some time. Well, I didn't go there anymore. But I want to go there sometime again. Yeah, just randomly. This is part of the scenery you can see from there. But this scenery you can't see really well because it's on bad condition. Yeah, that was 4th day. On next day, 12th, the day 5 in Montreal. Well, in the neighborhood I stayed, the hotel, the neighborhood of the hotel I stayed was a place called Palais du Congrès. Palais du Congrès. I don't know what this building exactly was for, but on the time I was there, they were doing some anime festival or cosplay festival called, I don't remember, Otakuthon 2011. I wanted to take pictures of the people who were there, but I didn't have this kind of ID that I had to register to participate in that event, which took like $25 on Friday, 1-day pass. I wouldn't get it. It's way too expensive just to take pictures of people who are in cosplay. But it was fun, it was nice, it was interesting being there and seeing people, characters of One Piece, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. Yeah, they were all these main characters. But other than that, the characters there I couldn't even recognize because I'm not an anime or otaku, anime or manga fan. So, but I felt kind of glad because it was still Japanese culture. So they were enjoying Japanese culture, so I was glad. And I wanted to talk to some random people saying, "Hey, I'm from Japan, what are you doing here?" But there's no reason I would say I'm from Japan. They wouldn't maybe care. Oh, you're from Japan, so what? You are not in cosplay. But yeah, I think even only saying that I'm from Japan could have excited them. Maybe I should have done that. Hey, what's up, guys? No, I'm a random tourist from Japan and randomly stayed at a hotel nearby, and yeah, but that was nice. Maybe next year I would wear some Japanese costume like samurai, because I'm personally really interested in wearing samurai looking clothes and put this katana sword by my waist and here being like this. Yeah, maybe next time I'll join it. And yes, I went to another nice experience memory. I went to a kind of restaurant called La Popesa, which I felt like Subway system-wise. You order, and so they have menus from 1 to 40 with numbers, each having different names, not only names, different style. Like one was like California, blah blah blah. One was teriyaki, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I ordered something that I could at least read, which was California something. Because otherwise I couldn't even read the menu because it was in French. Yeah, only menu I could read was teriyaki something and La California or something. So this was La California something. So I said I want that La California something, which also had a number, 20 something or 30 something. So I could say, please, I want that number 1, 2, if the clerk didn't understand my order. But anyway, I had this, and this chef or cook was asking me things like, would you like garlic? Would you like blah blah blah? Which I couldn't even understand. And he also asked me which kind of pasta, which kind of, I don't know what you call this, the main thing of the dish. Pasta. Yeah, you couldn't see it. The main thing of this dish. Which type? Maybe he was asking this long type or this flat type. But I didn't even know how they are different. I don't often go to spaghetti or pasta or Italian food restaurant even in Tokyo. So I don't simply know the system, how they work. And plus, I didn't understand French. I didn't even understand what they're saying in English. And so I was like, anything is fine, just give me something to eat. Yeah, I want 40 or anything. I want 23. Give me that with whatever condition, cook it and give it to me. I just want to eat. Yeah, that was a nice experience. And at this moment, I thought I need to learn French because the problem was I couldn't even read the menu. Of course, they had description underneath every menu in English, describing what kind of food they use. Crab, garlic, onion, whatever. Yeah, but this was nice. Maybe this was too hard for me to try this kind of restaurant. Yeah, but it's nice. But I learned that I could still say, I'm sorry, but I'm a tourist from Japan, so could you please say it slowly? Yeah, as my friend told me. Like, I should have said that. And after that, being cool, I went to Notre Dame Basilica, which also was amazing. Literally amazing. 待って。Here's the time again I use this word. Goosebump. Goosebump. Is it goosebump? Yeah. Goosebump. Yeah. I got goosebumps being in there. I almost cried. Even though I'm not Christian or I'm not religious or anything. This was the second time that I went into church. Big church. Beside St. Joseph Wattery. So, yeah, it almost made me cry. I don't know why, but this just gorgeous, amazing looking church, or I don't know, we call it basilica. It almost made me cry with goosebumps. I was, oh my. Actually, this wasn't only biggest or most gorgeous, amazing church I had ever seen, but it was building-wise, it was amazing. Not just a church because it's church. I couldn't believe that people could build this building, church. Wow. Wow. Can you imagine? And I randomly heard a guide saying that this basilica, Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal, is one of the 7 basilicas in the world. One, I think I heard, being in Rome. Yeah, others in other places. That was interesting to know that this is one of the world 7 basilicas in the world. Yeah, world 7 basilica in the world. Yeah, it took me $5, but only $5 to see this amazing. I thought even $30 would be worth. I would still pay $30 to see this. If you ever come to Montreal, or at least near this church, Notre Dame Basilica, yeah, this. If you ever see this building, you must go there. I don't know, maybe you have seen more gorgeous churches or buildings, church-wise in Rome. Maybe you have seen more gorgeous church there in Rome. But yeah, amazing. It was amazing. I've never even felt like crying seeing a building or a church. Yeah, it was the very first time I felt that something made me almost cried seeing a building. Yeah, and I was also listening to this pipe organ music. That was not the music. Amazing is the only word I could say. Or I could hardly say anything. Well, videos and pictures can't really describe how really gorgeous and amazing it really was. So, and this tall ceiling. Yeah, maybe you can see some you can get some feeling. Wow, amazing. It was amazing. I was happy that I went there, decided to go there. You must go there, please. Especially if you live in Montreal, please go there. It's ridiculous that you haven't ever been inside this Notre Dame Basilica. Are you silly? No, I know you're not. Go there if you have time. Even just one step inside. Go there. Go. You get to see what I saw. And yeah, it was near Old Town, so I got to see again some part of Old Port. And yeah, I went to the island that had this sphere-looking building, which was called Biosphere. I heard that this was made. Well, maybe this wasn't true. I don't know. During some expo, Canada Expo, 67, 76. Yeah, but yeah, this absolutely looked interesting from far away, so I had wanted to go there. And when I went there, it was around 5 p.m. It was, anyway, evening. So I couldn't go inside. It was closed already. But I was happy even to have seen this shape. Yeah, inside. Not really inside, but inside sphere. And I randomly went to casino. I just wanted to see the outside, see the building, but the bus I took me inside casino, this bus terminal. So I couldn't help going inside casino. Of course, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to play anything. I didn't have enough money. But yeah, so I ended up spending some time wandering around inside casino. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring any cameras or any computer, so they didn't allow me, or they didn't let anyone film anything. Yeah, so this is outside. This also looked interesting, and I found this on a tourist book that hotel I stayed had, this little book. Oh, this place looked interesting. I knew this place was casino, but I didn't ever mean to go inside. If I knew that this bus would take me inside. This is Montreal style underground metro. Is it different from the country you were in? Definitely yes, for me in Tokyo. Palais de Conquer. Random Japanese high school girl looking girl at the corner of the picture. You can't really see, but you will get to see this picture there. And the two Luffys. I don't know. Do you call this character Luffy there? I saw that it's written Luffy in English manga One Piece. Luffy, this is me, and a Luffy and another Luffy. Two Luffys. Yeah, Palais de Conquer. Palais de Conquer. Yep. This is the night view from my hotel, and this was Palais de Conquer, so it was so close from my hotel. Yep, that was day 5. Okay, now it's 1 hour. It's been 1 hour. Yeah, on the 6th day, I, with some other people, including this friend I was with sometimes, or maybe most of the time, we went to Saint, what was it called? Saint Mont Saint Sever. Did I call it correctly? This place, anyway. Mont Saint Sever. Yeah, this was a swimming pool place on the mountain that becomes ski place in winter. Yeah, that was fun. At first, I wasn't so willing to go there when this friend was convincing me to go there. I was like, maybe not this time. Because this is my personal story, so maybe I wouldn't talk about it. But anyway, I decided to go there, which turned to be really fun. You know, I don't even in Japan, I don't often go swimming, even public swimming, not regular swimming like this calm water, just to swim. No. Or what's more, I don't often go to amusement swimming pool like this. No, this is not a picture of a pool, but yeah, we have similar things in Japan too, or in my area, in my town, in my city. But I haven't been been to those places so often in my life, even have to live in Japan. But this was dangerous, like more exciting, more thrilling than the ones I have ever been to in Japan in my life. Yeah, I thought I not die, but the first one I did was really crazy. I even thought that I might get what flown away from the water. This attraction was, yeah, you basically go up the mountain on foot, and you get this boat that you get in with two people, you and other people. And yeah, and we go down the mountain mountain in a pool, this water flowing with those bumps. I don't know, bumps, Dutch. So it creates this ridiculous movement of water. So yeah, boat goes like that was, wow, crazy. It was the only word I had in my mind during that attraction. Wow, this is crazy. Oh my god. I kept shouting. Oh no. Yeah, you must you must hang you must hold the handles really tight all the time. Otherwise you get away from this route course into the forest. Well, yeah. Although this place was located really, I think, rural, or at least far, far away from downtown, which would take about 2 hours from downtown by car. So, when I went there, I think I was I'm sure I was the only Japanese man, but there weren't even many Asian people. So I looked standing out, of course. Like who's this guy? Why are you here? Maybe not that, but some people looked at me. Oh, yeah. Not oh, but, well, not unwelcoming way, but yeah, it was unusual for them to see someone Asian, I think. But yeah, but when we were in line, some random people talked to me in French. Of course, I didn't understand French, so I said, "What?" And he thought that I don't understand French, so he tried to say it in English, but he couldn't speak English either. So he wondered what's wrong with me, what was wrong with me, not responding to what he said, because I couldn't get what he said when he tried to say it in English, because it was not a kind of English that I was used to listen to. So yeah, and one of the member of us joined this group because our group was odd number, and so was this other group. And yeah, he explained. He told them that I was a tourist, pure Japanese tourist from Japan. And this group was like, I heard, oh my god, what? You should have told me. Yeah. It was funny because in Montreal, I don't know about other places particularly, but particularly in Montreal, I'm saying there are many people, different kinds of people, race, languages, not only French and English, but other languages, like of course Chinese, Koreans, I don't know, Arabian, yeah, not only French and English. Anyway, so I think they didn't even think that I could be a tourist because of this place and because of this culture of mixed people and mixed culture. So it was another it is another thing. It is another thing I think was good about Montreal. Yeah, because if you, I don't know who you are, but if you ever come to Japan, anywhere Japan, people definitely would think that you are a tourist or you are not at least a local people because you look standing out. I don't know who you are, of course, but you might be Japanese, you might be Asian who look like Japanese. But if you are, for example, white people, black people, I don't know, whatever people who don't look like Japanese, people here, Japanese people here, would think that you are a tourist from some other country, a foreigner. But it was interesting that those people there at this Mont Saint Sever, I don't know, didn't think that I was tourist. That was nice, interesting. Although I was a foreigner, the fact was that they didn't know that. Anyway, that was nice. I'd love to go this place, Mont Saint Sever, again if I have a chance next year or anywhere. I'll be living in Canada, so I will definitely have a chance. Yeah, I will live in Canada. And on that day, in night, I randomly went out again, only to get lost again. Not on purpose, of course. I stayed at Université du Montreal University, dormitory-like place, hotel. Yeah, and I went out to grab something to go to the supermarket, which I knew was some kilometers away, but it was pretty only straight going down, straight way going down. So I thought I can make it, but at some time I randomly thought I need a bag because I was going to get some souvenirs for myself, my family, and I brought only one big baggage, orange bag, and another bag of this small size. So I wanted to get some bag, so I made a. Okay, I went into some random store, which was on the street that I was on, walking. And then the clerk there said to me, if you're looking for bags, maybe you should go to blah blah blah, this store. This is on this direction, that store is on this direction, so maybe you'd want to go. I said, yeah, okay. And I tried to go there, but I couldn't find any stores, any back store. So, and then I made a turn going away from this straight road. And then that was the beginning. Yes. So that was the beginning. Where did I go? Yeah, it took me like 2 hours to get back to the hotel. And in the end, I realized that I went all the way, like 3 or 4 metro stations away from the metro station I closest to my hotel. That was fun though. Yeah, another getting lost, maybe third time, maybe more than that. That was the 6th day, and on that day I really realized that I'm so good at getting lost, probably in Canada especially. And on 7th day, 14th in Canada's time. Yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. And that day I went to Ottawa. I took a ticket to Ottawa. The capital of Canada. I took a bus to go there, which took 2 hours and 25-ish minutes. Ottawa, because Montreal is so close to Ottawa. Why not go to Ottawa? Yeah, this was advice from my friend. So I went to Ottawa anyway. And having come to Ottawa, the first feeling I thought, oh yeah, it's true that people say Quebec or Montreal is really different from any other places in Canada. Yeah, it was different. The very first thing I noticed was that people were not, at least not many people, were smoking on the street. That was the first thing I noticed. Interestingly. What time is it? Oh, I should go to bed soon. This is taking so long. Yeah. I'm sorry if you're watching this video. Great. Well, aren't you sleepy? Maybe you should go to bed too. And yeah, I went to Ottawa on the 7th day, on Sunday. Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. And yeah, the way that the buildings looked was also different in some way. In general, the atmosphere was different. People, of course, the fact that there were less people who speak French than in Ottawa, than in Montreal. It was, for me, at least, easier, because the way they speak English was also different. Yeah, it was like pure English, not mixed with French English. So the English they spoke was easier to understand. So I felt, in a way, more safe, comfortable, yeah, dealing with people. And the first day in Ottawa was also only wandering around, because it was evening when I arrived there. It was 4 p.m. around 5 p.m. So, and yeah, I don't know what I ate that time. Maybe I ate something. Of course I did something. Maybe I didn't eat anything. But next day in Ottawa, the second day in Ottawa, I had whole day from morning to evening to night. So I went out, of course. I went to Ottawa University. But I couldn't see inside. I went into some random building, but anyway, I could see the buildings, I could see outside buildings, I could see students there, I could get some feeling. But the building wise, the way that the buildings were like was also different from McGill University. I liked the way that McGill University is better comparing those two universities. Of course, I don't know other universities. And after Ottawa University, I went to another Notre Dame. What? Notre Dame Cathedral. Yeah. And I got this ring. Yeah. Secret. Some souvenir. And I went to the Parliament and some museum, I think. This museum. I'm just looking. Yeah. I went to the Parliament. Yeah. Indeed, literally looked like a castle. This was also amazing, something that I thought really amazing. They're beautiful. They're old. I haven't seen anything like this in Japan. Of course, the way that buildings were built in Canada and in Japan must be different. But wow. Wow. They were just beautiful. And also it was by the river. So I liked it too. Well, so I went to the Parliament in daytime. Random picture of me in the Parliament, the main building of the park in the Parliament. Yeah. So I went there in daytime and nighttime. Nighttime to see the show that they did. The show, of course I filmed the entire the show, so I will post it later. But this, on the wall of the Parliament building, they showed, I don't know, they used projector like at movie theater. So they showed pictures, movies on the wall of the Parliament, telling the story of, I think, the history of Canada, how Canada developed, how Canada was made, and people in Canada, with the ending of bang, Canada flag, like that. It was amazing. If you ever go to Ottawa, you should see it. It's free, and it starts at like 9:30. It's not held all the time, but the time I went there was on that period. So yeah, we have parliament here in Japan, in Tokyo. 国会議事堂, right? But myself, I haven't really been there. I have seen it myself, but that chance I had when I was in elementary school to go there. On that day, I got a cold, so I couldn't go. So after that day on, I haven't been there. Inside, at least, I haven't been inside anyway. So, but at least as far as I know, the size of this area and size of the building, this Canada's Parliament is way much bigger and way much more gorgeous. Wow. This is something I said in the video, which I haven't uploaded yet, but Japan's Parliament, I think Parliament is the same thing what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, it's the same thing that I have in my mind about Japan's Parliament. I said this, Japan's Parliament, at least for me, looks like just standing, boom, like, oh, that's Japanese Parliament. But this Canada's Parliament was boom, like, oh, that's the Parliament. Wow. You can see from far away. The looking wise, it's gorgeous, as well as it's huge and old looking. Unfortunately, it got fires, I think I heard twice in the past, but it is still there. Well, you should definitely see inside. You can have a free tour in French and English in every some minutes, every 40 or 30 minutes. You should definitely go inside. You should. Come on, please. And I got some souvenir there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now this is one of the pictures I took. This is the ending of the show in night. You can't really see, but yeah, they light up the Parliament building with some projectors. And on the top of the Parliament building is the Canadian flag. So they light up Canadian flag with 2 lights, you can see. At the end of the show, or oh, Canada, yay! Even though I'm not really Canadian now, at least for now, yet. I don't know if I'll ever be a Canadian. But I haven't seen any show like this in Tokyo, in Japan, saying or showing Japan, like the history of Japan, how Japan have developed, how Japanese people were like. It will likely be dark history, like invading other Asian countries if we ever do. So they won't be beautiful. Of course, Canada has had wars, conquering native people, fighting with foreign countries. Of course, it's not also beautiful history, maybe, either, but I found it really nice the way that Canadian people think that they are tied under the Canadian flag. Yeah, this is nothing, so I'm not gonna talk about this in this video. This is about my trip. But well, this might sound strange, but seeing this show, this gorgeous show about Canada, I felt like I was part of it. I I was part of Canadian. I even thanked Canada or Canadian people for having developed Canada. Of course, they were not my ancestor. Of course, they were not my history. Of course, they are not my past. I have been there only once. Yeah, I'm not part of Canada, but I felt like I was part of Canada. I was like, thank you. Yeah, I was really grateful about Canada, Canadian people, the ancestors, the man who fought against foreign powers. Yeah. This time it didn't make me cry, but goosebump. Like, oh, Canada. I haven't ever had a feeling like this. Japan. I'm Japanese. Of course, I'm proud of being Japanese, but it was just different. The way people show their patriotism. The way they show patriotism. Patriotism. The way that Canadian people and Japanese people show their patriotism are different. Just different. Maybe you don't know to yourself, but I know that they're absolutely different. I've never felt I'm tied to Japan under Japanese flag, but I felt I was under Canadian flag. Or maybe also Canadian people don't think or don't agree that I felt that I was part of it. No, you are Japanese, you're a foreigner. I know. On the last day in Ottawa, 9th day in Canada. This was, I think, 8th day in Canada. 8th day. 9th day in Canada. Yeah. Whatever. I was leaving Ottawa. I went to the supermarket again. And on the way back to on the way to the central station where I'd had bath from, I went to Japanese restaurant. Yeah, you get to see it, but Ken's Japanese restaurant, which they said best Japanese restaurant in Ottawa, or maybe best Japanese food in Ottawa. Yeah, this is all you can eat restaurant, which you pay for about $12. Yeah, $12 and some tax. Yeah, I went in there not because I miss Japanese food, not because I wanted to eat food, just because I wanted to see what kind of food or what kind of things they do as Japanese. Ooh. Yeah, as me being Japanese, I was curious about it. So, yeah, I went in there anyway. So, apparently, one step inside, this is not really Japanese style, I thought. Yeah, they hanged some random umbrella looking, Japanese style umbrella looking thing from the ceiling, which we don't really do in Japan, or the pictures or the style of the umbrellas were not even Japanese style. Who would hang umbrellas from the ceiling in Japan? No way. Anyway, that was one thing about it. Fine. And I asked this to one of the clerks there. Do you have Japanese clerks? Well, apparently she didn't understand my question. Maybe I didn't say clearly, or maybe clerk wasn't clear. Clerk. Yeah. But do you have Japanese people working here? She said, no. We used to have one girl, but she went back to Japan. So they used to have one Japanese clerk, and now they don't have any. I knew that they were all Chinese people. But the manner was fine. They were not at least rude. But yeah, I like the way that the waiters, waitress, the clerks were serving to the customers. Yeah, that was fine, at least. But yeah, of course this is something I had expected, that maybe most of the clerks would be Chinese. Yes, that was right. And some food was even funny. Of course they served sushi, but with all you can eat course, you can't eat real sushi, like rice and neta, sashimi, raw fish. It's another course. You have to pay other money. So, all you can eat, you have this many. Anyway, I will show you this later, but you have this menu with numbers from 1 to 133 or more. I don't know. And you can order anything from this. I don't know time. Maybe I think it was 85 minutes or so. But basically you can eat anything from this list. Starting with miso soup, ending with volcano. Oh, I should have ordered it. Damn it, I didn't know. But the purpose of going there was not to get full, just to see how it looks, what it's like. Yeah. So one interesting dish was Tokyo style ramen or Tokyo style noodle. Wow, Tokyo style noodle. What is it? What it's gonna be like? And I ordered it, of course. And it was tasteless, which definitely was not Tokyo style or even Japanese style. It was tasteless. I heard that Chinese ramen has lighter taste, and I have tasted Chinese soup, and yeah, it was lighter taste, and I actually liked it. But Tokyo style soup, no, Tokyo style ramen, Japan style ramen, it is not that light. I have that picture. We don't even have broccolis in it. Oh my god. Wow. Tokyo style noodle. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. There were some Canadian people. They were in the neighborhood around this place. In the neighborhood, there was a building where I think Canadian, like, protecting the nation people were working at. So yeah, like the officials. So not really military people, but military related people, like with those greenish clothes and some tag, so officials, they were there. I hope that anyone who would go there think that all they have as Japanese food is really Japanese food. No, no, no. Of course, they had California temaki roll, and yeah, I hope they at least know that California roll, California temaki roll, anything California is really what Japanese sushi or Japanese temaki sushi is like. I hope at least that. I don't expect too much. But I kind of wanted to try California, like this California roll. I liked it. I would consider it just a different style of sushi. I know, or at least I hope that people who eat this kind of sushi think that this is the way that Japanese sushi are. They know it, right? I hope. And I had tempura, and I had some squid, grilled squid. Yeah, this umbrella. I'm sorry, I shouldn't show this man's face. But, yeah. This umbrella randomly hung from the ceiling. No, we don't have this kind of stuff in Japan. I don't know, maybe I just don't know. Maybe some Japanese restaurants do something like this. But yeah, I take it. They tried to make an atmosphere that looks like Japanese style. I'm not just complaining. It's fine. The thing is that I hope that people who go to this restaurant or go to Japanese restaurant would not think that everything they see, everything they eat is really Japanese. Sometimes they can't be Japanese. Sometimes they are really Japanese. I hope that they know that at least. I know that they know, but perhaps they are people who don't know, so I hope so. And last day in Canada, maybe now you're thinking, oh, at last, it's like 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, it's not about showing pictures. And on the last day, so I came back to Montreal, getting prepared to go back to Japan. Yeah, I went to, before checking out, I went to Olympic Stadium. I don't know what it's exactly called, but Olympic Stadium, I call it. Yeah, this place, Olympic Stadium, that you saw in the video before. Just a remarkable looking building. And I went up to observatory. It was nice too. I didn't have time, and I didn't have enough time, but I went there anyway. Yeah, I wanted to spend some more time there, but I was in rush. But from there, literally, more than anything, you can see pretty much anything of Montreal. Not the other side, farther than this mountain, Mount Royal. But yeah, you could see pretty much everything. Because it's the highest building in Montreal. You could see the rivers, you could see every building, literally. Rivers, people, cars. Yeah. You should go there, I think, also. Because it's in Montreal. It's in Montreal, not in Ottawa. go there. I think you haven't. I don't know, but if you haven't, go there, please. But it costs like $15 to go up there. Just to go up there. So maybe you didn't want to go, but yeah, like randomly, but you could see everything, horizon, like this downtown direction too. And the bridge direction. Oh yeah, tall buildings. Yeah, that building. And that bridge. Maybe not this bridge that I went the other day. Yeah, this is it. And I came back to Japan. Yeah. And I had the very last poutine at Trudeau Airport, Montreal Airport. Poutine. I love poutine. I love it. But the other day I had a small poutine, which was really huge to me. So this small poutine was like this big, this size, and this like this depth, which must be large if it's sold in Japan. This poutine was, I think, $3.399, and they had also large or bigger poutine for $6.99. What if I had ordered this huge poutine? Oh my god, I couldn't have eaten it. This must have been ended up being like this huge, or maybe more. Aha. Glad I didn't order that. So, overall, to sum up, good thing having went there, having gone there. The things that I thought good was were well, in general, or yeah, I loved the buildings and the people. People are generally nice. I didn't get to talk to really many people, but seeing them, and they were friendly. I can't really describe this, but people in Tokyo are like cold and what? Mukanshin. Ignorant. No, ignorant. Damn it. Mukanshin. Indifference. Yeah, indifference about other people. That was the first thing when I came back and got on a train in Japan, looking around people on the train. Oh, they are like indifferent to other people. Doing cell phone game, doing video games, sleeping. Of course, people in Montreal on the train were. Some people are like using cell phones, listen to music, but I don't know. I felt it was kind of cold that people in Tokyo, no, actually Tokyo, it was Yokohama, but people in Japan, yeah, they were kind of cold. It was kind of reverse culture shock. Oh yeah, I didn't have any huge culture shock going to Montreal, going to Canada, because I have been to Hawaii, which is still foreign place to me. Whatever it is, Hawaii is Hawaii. Hawaii is part of America. Geography-wise, territory-wise. But yeah, I've seen foreign things like having gone to American bases in Japan or Hawaii, actually. So I didn't have any severe culture shock. Foods were fine, people fine. I could still deal with English, not French, but if anything should be a culture shock to me was French. It's not really culture shock, but language shock. But I knew that I would face many French situations, but yeah, I could deal it anyway with speaking English by speaking English. But still, my English is not perfect, not as perfect as Japanese. My Japanese is not even perfect either. But yeah, I'm hungry. So, but the thing was that the people in Montreal, some people in Montreal can't even speak English, I heard. And they were those people too. Or at least they can't deal English as much as they can in French. So that was sometimes a problem to me, especially because I don't know any French. I know oui, non, je ne sais pas, je m'appelle Kohei, je suis Kohei, or anything like that. I can't speak anything. That was I think, the only problem I had there. I said food was fine. People were nicer, I think. I liked people. And at least the areas I went to was safe. Although I saw many people, especially in Ottawa, asking me, got some change? Got some change? There were those people in Montreal too, but more people in Ottawa around the area I was and I went to. Got some change? Yeah. Of course, we have those people in Japan too, but I have never seen people like homeless people asking people for money. They are miserable though. Yeah, it was hard for me to see those people. But and another thing that might sometimes suck was that I couldn't get. This isn't really a big problem for me, but I couldn't get alcohol anytime I wanted. I mean, it wasn't all the time that I could get alcohol that I could. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, so in Canada, I don't know if it's all over Canada, but Canada, Quebec, Ottawa, I don't know, Canada. Anyway, where I went to, I couldn't get alcohol all the time. Does it mean what I want to mean? Yeah. So like after 11 p.m. or in some stores, at certain stores, like liquor shop, so-called liquor shop. Unlike in Japan, you can't usually get alcohol in medical stores or any convenience stores, or usually in the supermarket you can get alcohol in Canada, like in Japan, but not everywhere or not anywhere like in Japan or anytime. The good thing was that you can drink alcohol, at least in Montreal, over 18. I'm 20, so even in Japan I can drink, but it was nice. No one asked me for my age anyway, so yeah. I didn't at least look 18 or under 18. I know I look like 35 years old. No, not like this condition, maybe, but I don't know. Some people say I look old. Some people say I look young. I don't care. I'm 20 anyway. I think I'm 20, if I'm correct. So yeah, alcohol. I didn't say asshole. So yeah, good thing, food. But I can't really describe what and how I liked it there in Ottawa, in Montreal. But I loved it. I want to be there again. I want to live there. So I think I'm going to a university there. I don't know which place, maybe Ottawa, Montreal, but one thing I felt to myself really strongly was that if I go to Montreal or if I go to any place in Montreal and Quebec, I should learn and I should know some French. Maybe easiest way to learn French is get friends, get a girlfriend, yeah, get friends anyway, who speak French and help me with French. Of course, in return, if they want, I can teach them Japanese. Yeah. And another thing I noticed that there were less Japanese people. Maybe I just didn't notice, because unless they speak Japanese, most of the time I can't even know that they're Japanese or Chinese or Korean. Sometimes or oftentimes I can tell, but for sure, to be sure, I can't tell unless they speak something. Chinese, Korean, French, no, Japanese, Taiwanese, whatever. But I felt there were few Japanese people in Montreal. I saw a couple of tourists in Notre Dame Basilica. I heard they spoke Japanese. So what? Oh, this is Japanese. Oh my God, Japanese people here. And I talked to them, and there were a couple of tourists, a girl tourist from Japan. Yeah, of course from Japan, who were college students, university students, who were visiting Montreal on vacation as a school trip, kind of school trip. So with some other students, but at that point there were actually only 2 Japanese girls. But I was happy to see that there were actually Japanese people. And in Ottawa, near the Parliament, actually alongside the what? Idiot. I knew this word. Canal. I don't know if it is canal. Canal. Where boats go by. Yeah, there I saw a family of Japanese family. I was happy because it was family. They were definitely a tourist with a map and cameras, but I was still happy to see Japanese people there. But there were, in Ottawa and Montreal, there were absolutely more Chinese and Koreans. I'm not saying I was sad because there were Chinese and Koreans, but I was sad that there were less Japanese people. I want more Japanese people to go outside, go out to the world. Not to Montreal, not to Ottawa, I'm saying, but in a way, Japanese people are more I don't know this word. Yeah, inter something. Extra, X something and inter something. Yeah. Anyway, you know it. And okay, and now other things that I thought that might be bad or that I didn't like. One thing in Montreal is definitely that many people, almost everyone, was smoking on the street. On the street, that's the thing I didn't like. On the streets. Oh my god. Because in Japan, or at least where I am, where I often go to Tokyo, in Tokyo, you can't smoke just anywhere. You can smoke, of course, at some certain areas, like in front of the convenience store, but you can't smoke just anywhere. I don't know if it's true all in Tokyo, but at least where I go. So I wasn't used to even seeing people smoking on the street. That many people, literally 99%, maybe not 99%, but much more than in Tokyo. So I think I saw more smokers in Montreal than I have in Tokyo in my life of 20 years. Could be true, might not be true, but yeah. But in a way, I'm used to it. So when I went to Ottawa, that was kind of shocking that there were less people who were smoking on the streets. And when I came back to Tokyo, when I came back to Japan, there were less people, even less people who was smoking on the streets. So, I came back to reality, or I came back to what I used to be, what I used to sing, not what I used to be. Yeah, I think that was the reason I had kind of pain or in my eyes being in Montreal, because every time I have people nearby who smoke, I have this problem in my eyes, so it kind of hurts. So sometimes throat too, like maybe I still have this problem. I don't know. Maybe. So one thing I think I should do to go to Montreal is to get used to smoking. I know how to smoke, so I know how to do it. I've got a lighter. Chicken Canada as a souvenir, so I won't use this. So yeah, but it definitely changed my opinion about smoking. Before going there, I hated, or maybe I still do, but I hated people who smoke in general, or especially people who smoke on the streets, because I can't escape it, right? I just hate it when people smoke where I can't leave it, because I hate smoke of cigarettes. It harms even other people who don't smoke, which is really bad thing, I think, which is what I really hate. I don't care you smoke, I don't care they smoke. Just do it, help yourself, have fun. But this is not as easy as I'm saying. This is another story, not about Canada. Maybe I would make a video where I talk about my opinion about cigarettes and smoking. But maybe I should change my opinion to get used to living in Canada, or in Montreal or in Quebec. Not entirely in Canada, I know. But it definitely has changed even a bit of my opinion. Yeah, before going to Montreal, I totally hated smoking. in general, or even people who smoke. I hate seeing people who smoke. So no, not anyone who smoke, but people, friends, people who I care. No, but if I really want to live there, I think I have to change my opinion, because living there, it means I will make friends, and also I may hopefully make a girlfriend. I might marry a woman. I may have children. So I wouldn't want to see friends I really care smoking, and especially girlfriend. And this girlfriend, if this girlfriend would be my future wife, no, no way. We have kids. Oh, this is being not about Canada, so or Montreal trip. But yeah, if I really want to live there, one solution is find people that I be friends who don't smoke, because so that not because so that I won't hurt my feeling of seeing them smoke, because simply they're just precious to me. I wouldn't want to see them smoke. One thing is that smoking is unhealthy, as everyone knows, I hope. To your body. It definitely does harm to you. Everyone knows it. Second thing is, I don't know why, but I just can't help thinking it's ugly to see people smoking, especially young, beautiful women. In Montreal, as I said, pretty much everyone smokes, even young, beautiful-looking women. Oh my god, why are you doing that? Yeah, I was like, but I got kind of used to it, seeing anyone smoking, even young, beautiful women. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't care random people, even whatever young or beautiful women smoking. What I care is people I care smoke. I don't want to see them smoke, but I'm used to it. Yeah, you can. I'm used to seeing you smoking in front of me, but yeah, I'm used to it. So the thing is, I should be used to it, or I should change my opinion, or I should only have people who don't smoke as friend, or as a girlfriend, or as family, or whatever, as precious people, which I really think is really hard, especially in Montreal. So maybe, but anyway, if I marry a woman anywhere, in Japan, in Canada, anywhere, I hope she is a woman who doesn't smoke at all, because it will does a great influence to children. Even if it's only 1% or 2% or any little number, but it still has a negative possibility of giving children some problems, even not immediately, but in the future. And to the smokers themselves too. Of course, it's not immediate, but after 10s, 20s, some decades later, they could have cancer or other things. Yeah, I will talk about this in some other video. Not this. This is about my trip to Montreal and Ottawa. That's it. Oh, and another thing is that I didn't like in Montreal was that car drivers, they drive really dangerously. They like beep. They're like beeping. I haven't heard that many beeping in Tokyo my life. Like every second they beep, I heard beep beep. Like if you delayed to go when the traffic light turns green, the driver after you, behind you, beeps, beep beep beep. Oh, it was funny. And they drive really rough, not like walkers priority. If there's any space among walkers crossing the street, they cut in. Psh. How many times was I about to be driven by a car, driven off on? Yeah. Well, they are real rough driver. And when I got on a highway, expressway, highway, I was feeling so unsafe because they were driving over 100 kilometers per hour, but the distance of cars, some distance of some cars were like 10 meters, only 10 meters. What if this car in front of this car stops suddenly by accident or to avoid any accident? This car must crash. Unbelievable. And they don't even, I don't know, when they change their lanes. They don't do that. Most of them, at least, most of them don't do that. Wow, oh my god, I can't believe, oh my god. Would I die here? Oh. And they are really like, they're like, it's really free. I think it's in Quebec or Montreal only though. I hope so. And I don't hope that they do that though, but at least I hope that it's only in Montreal or in Quebec. Oh, it's 4 a.m. Fuck. I didn't mean to do this long, but yeah. Anyway, you know I have this many memories, experiences, bad scenes, good scenes. Yeah, and I was, of course, it wasn't familiar for me, the bus system, metro system, but in the end, I found metro system was really easier to follow than in Tokyo's. But bus system, definitely not. It's inefficient, or it was really complicated. Yeah. I wouldn't be used to it, I think. That is it. Probably, I think I haven't talked about anything. Any good scenes, good size, bad scenes, bad size, or any, not also everything I have done there. But I've talked about many things anyway, so that's it, just to share. I didn't make this 2-hour long video. I'm sorry if you watch this, if you're watching this even right now. Well, you're a good watcher. Amazing. Maybe you'd like to see this in separate, like 30 minutes. 30 minutes is still long. Maybe 15 for 8 times. Yeah, anyway, that was it. Oh, Canada. Yeah. Anyway, bye bye. Thanks for watching. Really, if you really did, thank you very much for seeing this. I'm so sorry to make this video so long. Maybe I should just shut up and end this video. Okay, this is more already 4 a.m. here. I should definitely go to bed myself too. Bye. Thanks for watching, really. Bye. Good night. Have a good day. Or have a good night.